top of the what estate, baby. All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do something a little different today before I tear something up. So I am going to take this radiator shroud out, or for you guys up yonder, my radiator. I'm gonna get this radiator shroud out. Get this, yeah, Pa, I'm gonna get this radiator shroud out. Yep, take that fan off. Yep, yeah, boy, yeah, Pa. And I'm gonna put an electric fan on it. So, I got the camera set up right here, and I'm taking that radiator shroud off. And I said, you know what? I started taking some bolts out. I took a couple out. I took a few out, and I said, you know what? Let's see if the YouTube family want to follow along and spend some time with Jay today. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm taking the shroud out. I'm hoping I can take it out without taking nothing loose, the radiator hose or the radiator hose. So I don't want to lose no coolant, and don't want to get no coolant on the floor. And then I'm going to take the mechanical fan off, and then I'm gonna measure, and I'm going to put electric fans on it and build an aluminum shroud, just to clean up the engine bay. So here we go, boys and girls. Y'all like my custom rod hold, my hood holder? And the reason why this handy dandy hood holder is there is because I had to take my hood springs out because the slosh tubs took up the place, and this is the only way for me to hold it up until I get the whammy rods. So, nevertheless, so that's what we're gonna do, and everything on this truck is metric because it's an 85 or 86. So I take that back. Most of the stuff is metric. So, nevertheless, did a lot of cleaning today and yesterday. Gotta take that stuff back to Amazon. Well, back to I've already done. I've already did the claim. Oh yeah, there's one right there. It's snowing up here. Hey, what car are you working on? How are you? Big fish. Let me tell you something, brother. I got up this morning. I was looking for this tray. I got up this morning, got everything ready to go. Well, last night I got everything ready to go. And to go duck hunting this morning. It started sleeting and snowing. It started sleeting last night. And then I got up this morning and it was about an 1/8 inch of ice on the ground. Went duck hunting. Didn't see nothing. Nothing. It was still nice out, but didn't see nothing. And then as soon as that big eye in the sky go over the trees, it was all gone. Hey, what car are you working on? I am working on an 86 Silverado pickup truck and RM N3VR. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna be over here and I'll come back periodically to check the messages. So we're gonna take this radiator shroud off, or radiator, whatever you want to call it. This thing right here, this big plastic thing. It looks like a 5-gallon bucket, looks like a 55-gallon drum. We're taking it off. So, we're taking it off. Getting it out of the way. Clean up the engine bay. So we can play for another day. Come on, girl. Battery about dead. My battery. Sorry. Yeah, boys and girls. So in real time, you get to see all the mistakes. You get to see everything. You get to see it all. I'm gonna leave this over there. Knock it over, hit the floor. We started off We started off as close friends. Hi from the UK. Well, hello there from the UK. We're in North Carolina here in the United States. We started off as close friends. Well, at least you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. Oh, we got a haircut today. I couldn't take it no more. I had to go get shaped up, buzzed up, tightened up. I had to go get a haircut today. When I went in, they was like, "You ain't been here in a while, it's pretty thick." And I said, "Oh yeah, she's thick. It's thick." So there's 3 bolts on this side. There is 2 bolts at the top, and there's 3 bolts on that side, and then there's two little rubber nipples right here on the top. And if you just take one of these handy dandy tools right there, pop it on that side, pop it on that side. Easy peasy, cheesy, greasy, baby. Easy peasy, cheesy, greasy. I love your videos, and you are a great person. You're amazing. Your videos are good. I'm for US, west side of the USA. I'm 14, I have to go. So good luck, have a great day. Hey, you in California? You're not in SoCal, are you? If you are, praying for you. I know Big Fish is too. So this is the radiator shroud. I appreciate you, Brandon Grubb. This is the top half. Now there's a bottom half. Now I might have to get on the floor for the bottom half. But this is the original. This is the original. And how do I know this is the original? Because right there, it says March. Right there, it says March of '86 is stamped. So that means this is the original radiator shroud. Hi from Brazil. What's up? Miranda, hello. Yeah, Big Fish, it's terrible. I got friends that live out there, and they said, man, they were in the safe zone until they wasn't in the safe zone, and then they evacuated, and then they watched from afar of everything that they had just turn to ash, just gone. And this right here says made in Canada. So this thing's not busted or nothing, so I won't throw it away. Did you hear about the big crazy fires in California? Yeah, Brandon. I did hear about them. I got friends that live out there. I got a lot of friends and vendors and colleagues and business, just whatever. There is a crack right here. There is a crack right there, but I can take my handy dandy plastic welder and I can weld that up and I can put this up. But I'm not throwing this away because somebody might call and say, "Hey Jay, do you have a stock radiator shroud for a square body?" And I'm gonna say, "Here you go. Good luck." They turned down fire trucks from Oregon because there's I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I seen the same thing. Just like they wouldn't let them pump water out of the ocean either. I mean, there's 830 miles of oceanfront coastways, and they wouldn't let them pump no water out of the ocean. So I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, dida, woulda, whoulda. I mean, we can second guess and everything else. I mean, like I said earlier in another video I did today, if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he hopped. So I mean, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, everything that happens, we just gotta learn from it and try to do better. So, but anywho's, so I got the top part. I'm gonna have to get down here on the ground and see where the bottom's at. So y'all just hang tight. Hang tight. I can still hear you. No, you can't, Jay. There ain't no audio on. Alright, so the nut inserts are on the bottom, and there's 2 fasteners on the top, and All right, so there's 2 more fasteners. What car is this? 86 Silverado pickup truck. Hey, also heard on the radio, or not mainstream media, but another media, that the insurance company canceled all the insurance policies on everybody hours before. They can't do that. they're crazy. So there's two fasteners. This is what the fasteners look like, or bolts, whatever you want to call them. So there's 2 of these under the radiator, or radiator, however you want to say it. So I'm just going to pick the radiator up just enough so I can get to them. And then we're going to go from there. Probably get me a chair, because I got the truck lifted up. See what she does for me. See what she does for me, boys and girls. Let's see if she gives it up, or she's gonna be tight. Oh, don't be stubborn, girl. Jay, you just told them the battery was about dead, and you did every bit of that, and didn't even put a battery in it. What's up, JG? I just said that battery was weak, and I climbed in there and done every bit of that. I pushed the button and it went right. You big dummy. All right. All right, girl. Don't fight. Don't fight. I bet that thing is spinning. I bet that nut insert is spinning on the bottom. You big sack of dummy. Ah. It broke them. All right. Plan B. So, plan B. So, what we gonna do? Let's see if anybody said anything. So the nut insert, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, look here. So let me show you. This is on the bottom, see? No, JG, it's this right here. It's these, what is these things called? They're not nut inserts. Clip nuts, I'd have to look it up and see, but these right here. So what happened is this thing, yeah, the clip, they got a name. I don't know exactly what they are, but clip is good. So what happened is when I went to go take it loose, it's just recessed into the plastic just a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch. And what it did is it jumped, and now the whole thing is spinning. So now what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna grab the bottom. I'm gonna grab the bottom of that clip like that. I'm gonna try to grab it like that. I'm gonna reach my arm underneath there and I'm gonna hold it with one hand and then run the little, I'm gonna run that thing, run the little ratchet, battery ratchet with the other one and see what I can do. What I can do for it. I'm working on it, boys and girls. Don't go nowhere. She's putting up a fight. She's putting up a fight. She's putting up a fight, but I ain't giving up on her. I ain't giving up. I'm not giving up. Yahtzee! Look. Now look at here. That's what's left. I got it. So what I had to do is I tried to hold it on the nipple like that, but it was just spinning. See where it done that? So what I did is I opened up the opened up the pliers where they had a little bit more open the mouth of them or the throat, and I done like that right there, and I clamped down on it like that, like nobody's business. And she came on out. She didn't want to come out, but she's out. Ooh, look how dirty that radiator is. She's dirty, boys. She's dirty. All right, got that one out. Let's go to the other one. Let's go to the other one. I'm gonna do baby bumps on this one. I'm gonna do baby bumps. I ain't gonna go full throttle. I'm gonna do baby bumps. So maybe this one won't break. That baby bump worked on that one. I just baby bumped it instead of going full throttle. Now, let's see if we can get this out without tearing up a lot. I'm thinking if I slide it all the way towards the engine, not a motor. I know people call them motors, they're engines. A motor is electric, but I ain't trying to be politically correct, but the engine, I'm gonna try to slide this radiator shroud, the lower part, towards the engine to clear it from the bottom of the radiator. And you know what, I'll just show you. I'll just show you for the ones at home. I'll just show you the ones at home what I'm talking about, so you can see. All right, so the radiator shroud goes under the radiator, and I had to pick it up to get to the lower bolts. This radiator was sitting in the little pocket, and the other two bolts is underneath it. So I had to lift the radiator up to get to the other one. So what I'm gonna do, I want a ratchet. I only have a big DeWalt impact. Yeah, they're nice, man. So Harbor Freight's got them. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with Harbor Freight stuff. So I'm gonna take this radiator shroud and I'm gonna try to slide her back. See, I got a little bit of room right there. That's probably enough room. And then I'm just gonna rotate it around either clockwise or counterclockwise to get that shroud out. So maybe that'll work. But if it don't, we'll cross that bridge when we get there together. Did you ignore me? No, hold on a second. Oh, hi, you remember me, Anonymous. I just finished a carb LS swap in my 84. No, I didn't ignore you. I just missed it. There was so much stuff going through. I said in the beginning that I would come back and scroll through the messages and follow up with the ones I didn't see. So, hi, I remember you from the other day. I appreciate you coming back. JG, Milwaukee. What are we talking about? Milwaukee. Oh, no. Snap on. Snap on. Let's see what else I got on there. We spoke about dam and fish yesterday. I remember. I got a memory like an elephant. I just finished a carb LS swap in my 84. Sweet. Sweet. Juan, that sounds cool, man. That sounds cool. I got an Air one brand new from flea market. It's cool. I got a pneumatic one. I got an Air one as well. And man, you got that daggone hose hanging on it. This right here, I got the whole, I've had this little nut driver, right? Or screw gun. It's got 9 settings on it. Also, I got the little polisher. I'll show you. I got the little polisher. This is a little polisher. So I got the polisher, the ratchet, the nut driver, the 4-foot light, the tube light, the 4-foot tube light. I don't even know where it's at. The 4-foot tube light like this. So the tube light you can might be working under like that. You stick the light under the hood. I know I got tons of battery construction tools. So I got that. And also I had a 3/8 impact and I got a 1/2 inch impact. The 1/2 inch impact, I've probably used maybe 5 times. And the reason why is because the battery charger stopped working, right? I mean, it's a beast. I mean, it's a beast. The battery charger quit working, so I can't charge the battery. Well, then they discontinued that daggone model, and I can't get a battery charger. So I just throw it in the drawer. What I need to do is I need to reach out to Snap-on and see what I can do. But my 3/8 ratchet, or excuse me, my 3/8 impact, man, I use that son of a gun on everything. And let me tell you what I did. I was doing some stuff to this truck, and I put the bumper on, right? I put the bumper on. I put the bumper back on it. And then I laid the impact on the bumper at the tag. And I went in the house, done some stuff. I come back outside and I forgot, right? Well, Jay, you just said you don't forget. You're like, well, a lot of stuff was going on, blah, blah, blah. I get in the truck and I leave to go to the hardware to get some stuff. And I get halfway to the hardware and I said, oh crap, I left my daggone impact on the bumper of the truck. So I pulled over, and I don't drive fast anyway. I pulled over and it wasn't there. I said, damn. I turned around and went right back the way I went. I mean, I don't run like 45, 50 miles an hour. I don't get in no hurry. And I'm looking, I'm like this. Looking in the road, nothing, don't see anything. I know what happened. That son of a gun, I hit a bump, and that son of a gun fell off, hit the road. Somebody come right by me and they said, red and black, snap on. They hit the brakes and they got it. So it is what it is. So it is what it is. So I need to get me another 3/8 impact, and I'll probably just get one from Harbor Freight. And just whatever, because the Snap-on, there's no Snap-on people that come here. So I got all this stuff when I worked at Petty's, because the Snap-on guy came every week, you know. So I got all this stuff. It was a bundle. It was a whole bundle. It was all this stuff. I mean, it was the ratchet, it was the tube light, the 3/8 impact, and the 1/2 inch impact. And I don't know how much it was, but it is hot. It's expensive. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, but there's nothing wrong with Harbor Freight stuff. You know, it's basically pretty much all the same stuff. And Harbor Freight has got such a great Harbor Freight has got such a awesome return policy. So I mean, you get some stuff, and then won't lose those, and if something goes wrong, you can take it back and they'll exchange it. You know, if you get the extended warranty, they'll exchange it. Do you know why Harbor Freight changes the colors of their stuff? Like, you know, like one year their stuff will be green and black, and then you'll go back and then they change the color, it'll be blue and black or whatever, then you go back and it'll be a different color. That's so they know what year that came out of. That's what one of the store managers told me. Because I had something that it broke, and I took it back. I had an air nibbler, cutting sheet metal, and I took it back to exchange it, and he said, just go on the shelf and get you another one. And I said, okay. So I go back there looking. Hey, before I hooked up the tank in the rear, but hold on, let me finish this before I stop. So I went back there on the shelf looking, and I couldn't find it because I was looking for the color. I found one, but it was a different color, different model number. So I went back and I said, hey man, I don't see what I had on the shelf. He said, okay, cool. And he goes back and he says, no, it's right there. And I said, well, that's a different color and a different model. And he said, well, they changed the colors. Hey, I hooked up the tank in the rear of my truck, and when I was running it off the little bottle, okay, hold on a second. When I was running it off the little bottle, for some reason, it was sucking that bottle dry just in a few minutes. What do you mean? Like a drink bottle or something? What are you talking about, big fish? Like a water bottle or something? So, you had a water bottle with fuel in it, had the hose in it, you was running it, and it would suck it dry. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what I'm picking up, what you're laying down? Well, what you got in that thing, a 302? It's a 302, ain't it? Is it 302, 280, what is it, 289, 302? It ain't no 351. Is it a 351? What'd you put in there? I thought you put a 302 in there. Which one? I know you're typing. I'll come back and read it. Should I talk sweet to it? Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Give it to me. Hey, you gotta act right. We got people watching. No, one thing. I got to come out this coat. Hyped up 289, 340. You probably got what, a 650, 700 carburetor on that thing? It's not fuel injected, is it? You do fuel injected, big fish? I can't remember. Or did you do carburetor? All right, now. Do like Kevin Gates says. Lock your knees back, breathe through your nose. Bam. Got the bottom. Now. For some reason, it's thirsty. Big fish, I'm pretty sure that thing gonna be thirsty. I mean, you think about it. I mean, that ain't really that much. No, it's actually a 2-barrel. 2-barrel. So when I was running a little bottle, for some reason it would suck the bottle dry in just a few minutes. Well, that's not a lot of fuel. I mean, you think about it. I mean, let's say that's, no, not that. Can't use that for anything. This bottle right here is 16 ounces or 16.9. So if you had it halfway, that's 8 ounces of fuel. I mean, it would run, but in just a few minutes, it would suck it dry. I mean, them things is thirsty. I know it done this with this truck here because the tanks were messed up and I had to order tanks before I done all this craziness stuff to it. And it's fuel injected. And I put a little bit of fuel in a Gatorade bottle and I had it sitting over there on the thing to get it cranked up. And I don't know how much I had in there, but it wasn't full, you know, it was just probably a quarter of the way. And pulled it, you know, when I got it outside, sitting there running, see if it'd clear itself out. And it cut off. I said, man, that sun gonna cut off again. What the world's wrong with that thing? Go, I don't know, didn't have no fuel. So then I run a hose down to a 2.5 gallon gas can on the ground outside and watched it and let it run. And it run for a pretty good while on 2.5 gallons. All right, so one reason why I wanted to take this out is because you can't see it right here. For some reason, the fan was rubbing right there. So I think the clutch, the bearings in the clutch and the fan is going bad. So if I gotta replace the clutch and the fan, which it don't, let's go over here and look at it and see what we got. All right, so now here's what we is. So the fan was actually rubbing. Ooh, look at that belt. I gotta put some new belts on this thing. So the fan was actually rubbing, so that made me think that the bearings was going out in the clutch, but it don't seem to be. But nevertheless, look at that belt. Ooh, boys and girls, look at that belt right there. That thing been on there a minute and a day. She dry rotted. She bad, super bad. We'll just have to get some new belts for it. All right, so let me show you this right here. Everybody right there, you know what that right there is? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, let me see what you said, Big Fish. Oh, okay, I asked because I put a new fuel regulator on and it doesn't want to run for long. I think I'm starving it. I'm gonna take it and let it eat. Okay, so what's your fuel PSI? So you need to be, hold on, let me double check, hold on a second. All right, so different carburetors take different PSI. So you need about 4.5 to 7.5. A Holley Dominator takes 7.5 pounds of pressure to work. Regular ones, so 4.5 is the least. 7.5 would be the max. So I would look up the specs on that 2-barrel Edelbrock and see what the operation fuel pressure is. Let me see. Hold on, let me look at my notes. Hold on. All right. Build on a Budget always asks me questions, and he said, how in the world, man, you know all kinds of stuff. And I do, I am fortunate. I remember a lot of stuff when it comes to vehicles, but I also have notes. I have notes on my phone where I can find stuff in categories. So in my notes, it says Edelbrock max 6.5 pounds of pressure, max. So look up the specs on Edelbrock, on that two-barrel Edelbrock you have, and see what the minimum fuel pressure is and what the max fuel pressure is. And let's just say it's, let me give me something to write with. So let's just say the max fuel pressure, let's do it like this right here. So let's just say the max fuel pressure, max is 6.5 PSI, all right? And then it says the minimum is, let's just say it's 4.5 PSI. So what I would do, Big Fish, is this right here. So 6.5 from 4.5. So I'd subtract those two, right? So that's 0, and that's 4, 5, 6. So that's 2, right? And then I would divide that by 2, which ends up to be 1. And then I would add 1 to that and comes up to be 5.5. So I would set it at 5.5 pounds of PSI. That is the middle to me. So that's a good spot to start with, right? Or you could do it the other way. I mean, you could do it this way. I mean, you could say 6.5. It'd probably be the same thing. 6.5, that's 6, 7, or that's 10, 6, that's 10, 11. So 11, and then do the average. It's probably the same. It is the same thing. Yeah, so it's the same. So that's the average, 5.5. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I'd set it at 5.5 and see what it's doing. I'd set it at 5.5. All right, let's get back to the truck and I'll show you what I got going on. Yes, sir, anytime, anytime. All right, so let me show you something. Get a little bit. This right here, boys and girls, is the brake proportioning valve. So technology's came a long way. So if the rear brakes go out, you still have brakes. All right, you see this line right here? This is your brake light. You see that right there? I accidentally unplugged it. This goes right there. Right, what? This goes right there. Since I unplugged that, and if I didn't plug it back up, I'd get in the truck and my brake light would come on. So your brake light will come on for several reasons. Either that's bad or low on fluid and it's not reading pressure. So since I pulled that and I got in the truck to crank it, the brake light would come on. And that's because this right here is a sensor that lets you know that, hey, my brake light. And then there's also, it lets you know the thing's low because we put brakes on it and I hadn't bled the brakes all the way. So the light is on now because it's low on fluid. It's low. Well, just one bolt. Well, one bolt being completely loose on a valve cover causes a leak. It will cause it to weep. And then eventually it will leak. Or the gasket is dry rotted. So look right here. This valve cover is a center bolt valve cover because it's got center bolts and it is wet. You know, it's been weeping, right? So probably more than likely that this truck's probably never had valve cover gaskets put on. The truck set for a long time and was not drove or driven, everybody wants to say. That by doing that, everything that was wet with oil dry rotted and cracked, and then once started driving it, they would weep. So, I mean, it's like not pouring oil, but it would weep oil around the cracks. Therefore, now it don't burn smoke. It don't smoke. You don't smell oil burning because it's not enough to get down on the exhaust manifold to cause an issue. But you can see the grass seeds and stuff like that are sticking because this PVC valve's probably leaking, which you can tell, and probably the valve covers are leaking because it has old gaskets. And then also around these torque nuts, there are seals there, and they potentially to dry rot and crack, and they'll leak. So once I get to that part, I will pull the valve covers off, and I'll put new valve cover gaskets on, blah, 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 and I'll do all that stuff, and then there. So to answer your question, will one bolt being completely loose, the valve cover cause a leak? It will let it weep, because if it's not equal pressure, like there, and there, it's not equal pressure pushing down to make the gasket. I hear you, Holly, I'm coming. If it don't have equal pressure on it, then it's potentially that it could leak. Come on, Holly. Hollywood. Come on, Holly. Holly. Hollywood. So, to answer your question, it's possible. It's possible. You're welcome. All right. So that's that. Oh, what I was going to show you. On the bottom, so on the bottom of the radiator shroud, you see these pieces right here? This right here. Let me see what's wrong with him. Hold on a second. Let me see what's wrong with the cat. Hold on a second. Come on. I heard you the first time, fat boy. I went to the door. I guess you was taking your sweet ass time getting up here. I guess we on your time, not me. Will a broken bolt still hold? I want you to read. I want you to read your question. What? See this right here? This rubber isolator sits in there like this, like that, right? And then the radiator, or the radiator, sits on top of that. So, since I'm not running a shroud, I have on other trucks, well, a broken. It depends on what if it's broken, no, it's gonna move. The whole purpose of a bolt. The whole purpose of a bolt or a fastener is to clamp something down, to hold it in place. So the threads, and when you screw it down, right, when you screw the bolt down, it's got a clamping force to hold that down. Oh, then no. No, so here's a hit. All right, so we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. Here's a stud for your head. You slide your head down on it, all right? Your head's on it. You got this much of it sticking out. Then you have your flat washer. Then you got your lock, which you don't on the head, but gives you the concept. Go on. And when you tighten up the head stud and you tighten it down, it's got a clamp on. It's got a clamp force, right? So this is this son of a gun done got back up here. So you got the stud, and then this, my hands is her head, right? And then you're clamping it down, right? I'll show you I got an engine over there, I'll show you. And you're clamping it down. That's putting force to hold that head in place with the gasket. If this head bolt is broken, then it has no clamping force. I'll show you on this head. I'll show you on this engine over here. All right, look right here. That's a head bolt. See that? You got one there. All right, look here. There's a head bolt. 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 This is your valve cover gasket, right? I don't know why that's got two on it, but nevertheless. That's a head bolt. 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 So if one of those head bolts are broke, then it don't have a clamping force. If it don't have a clamping force, then you have water jackets in there, and those water jackets could let water get into the head or into the combustion chamber, and it will start burning oil. It'll start burning burning water, burning oil. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. So, and this is your valve cover gasket, and I think I just put it on backwards. No, I put it on right. So this is your valve cover gasket, and then when you got clamp, that's your gasket, right? Small block forward. Yes, that's a 302. That 302 is for this, for that box truck. So, all right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the explanation. I needed it. Not a problem, anytime. So, other truck, or you can buy the metal part of these, and you see that little rubber nipple. They have the metal ones that have the little clips. So I got a set of metal ones. I'm gonna stick it down into the core support, and then I'm gonna bend back the tabs, and then I'm gonna take these and put back in place, and then the radiator set back on there. Let's rack it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. All right, hang tight. I gotta get something right quick. That's about it. Cleaned up. That's about all. That's all I got. What else, everybody? If you love square bodies, double tap your screen. There you go. All right, I'll show you this one. Here, let me wash my hands. Let me wash my hands, and then I'll show you the truck. All right, so here's the truck. That's a 68. This is an 86. Full air ride, 3-inch drop pockets, 3-inch drop spindles, full air ride in the front, 20 by 8s on the front, 22 by 12s on the back, running a 245/40 on the front and a 315/40 on the rear. Let's see, put slosh tubs in it from Slosh Tubs. They will fit a set of 24s, but running 20s right now, 22s on the back. Got a bunch of stuff mocked up in here. The front end, hold on a second. So I just got that tape there to keep the wires in place. There is no rust. When I say there is no rust, this thing is solid. This is probably the solidest one I've ever seen, you know. That's the hole for the 4th order box to come through. In the process, the front end. It's 86. The double stack headlights. This front end, let me get over here so you can see it. This front end, that front end right there is my favorite front end, just in my opinion. And the 68 C10 is my favorite front end on a 68 C10 with the slant back hood. That is my favorite, just in my opinion. I think they flow better. I just like them. So that's that. This thing has full air ride in the back, has a 10-inch notch made out of 2x4 rectangular tubing, 3/16 wall. Stainless steel air lines, stainless steel braided air lines, AVS controller, 2 485C compressors, the new ones, 5-gallon tank, has a relocated fuel cell or the gas tank underneath the bed floor in the back. It's a race tank. It's about 18 gallons. Back there, there's a 4th order speaker box being made for the bed to hold. We're gonna try to go for 415s. If 415s won't work, then we're gonna do something different. There's a lot of stuff going on, so on that. But anywho's, gotta get the whammy rods. The whammy rods bolt right here, and then they come down somewhere in here. I don't know exactly, it's in the instructions. And then the whammy rods bolt here, and then it has a gas shock that holds the hood up. So it'll be like this right here, a gas shock, because we lost the hood hinges because we had to cut out the inner fender so the slosh tubs could fit. It's a 4.3 V6. They only made 4% of them in 86. This truck only has like 70-some thousand miles on it. I put like 15 on it. So I had like 60-some thousand. I put 15,000 on it, and then we pulled it in the shop and started tearing it apart. Or not tearing it apart, started doing what we're doing. Has stock upper control arms, has lower control arms that's been modified with 3-inch drop pockets, new upper and lower control bushings, 3-inch drop spindles. Later on, we might change, he might change the upper control arms to a tubular control arm where it's +1, it'd be +1, where it will push the upper ball joint out an inch and it will bring it up an inch. By doing that, it will get rid of, when the truck's all the way down, how the tire leans in, the camber. The camber. Some of the camber might be able to get out when we get the truck aligned, but if not, later on, he'll put upper tubular control arms on, which will be +1 out, +1 forward, and that will help on the cast and the camber. But for right now, we're just leaving it on the back. So that's about it on that. That's the 68 that I'm doing too. And then I gotta pull this thing out once we get all the fuel line done. I can pull this thing out and start working on the chassis on that 61 Ford box truck. So that's that. It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. It's not that bad in here. Let's see what the temperature is. 62 degrees in here. Oh yeah, you living a rough life. Long Island. What's up? Thanks for coming. Y'all, excuse me, I'm eating a little bit of crackers. A cracker eating a cracker. A cracker eating a cracker. J-Bone, I got family live upstate New York. Look at this. No, get down. Look at that right there. That's a baby one. Hey, should I leave my 68 C10? That's all original. T-Bone? My question is, this right here. What do you expect out of your 68 C10? What do you expect? What do you want out of your 68 C10? I understand what you're asking, so I'm asking you this. What do you expect out of your 68 C10? What do you want out of your 68 C10? Then I can kind of give you a little insight on what I think. Truck has 58,000 miles. Oh, that's cool. You have the build sheet too. So you got the window sticker and you got the bill of sale. Do you have the build sheet? Like where they actually walked into the dealership and ordered that truck. Do you have that? So you do have the build sheet. Is that what you're saying? So you got the window sticker. So you have the window sticker. Well, that's pretty cool. So if you got the window sticker, the bill of sheet, you got the window sticker, the bill of sale, and the build sheet, I'd leave it. I'd leave it alone. I'd just make it safe to drive. I'd make it mechanically. Okay, if it's that way, I would make it safe to drive, make it go, make it stop. Mechanically, I would make it mechanically, excuse me, I'd make it mechanically functional, right? Make it safe to drive, and I'd leave it. I wouldn't do nothing else to it. I'd leave it. That's all I'd do. I'd just put gas in it and drive it. That's all I'd do. I'd leave it. I wouldn't do nothing else to it. I'd just make it safe to drive. Brakes. Now, I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't upgrade nothing. I wouldn't do any of that. I just, whatever, if you got drum brakes on it, I'd put new drums on it. I'd put new wheel cylinders, drums. I'd rebuild the brakes. I'd put new brake lines on it, new rubber hoses on it, or, new brake line hoses. I'd do all that. I'd put new fuel line on it. If the gas tank was good, I'd leave it be. I wouldn't do anything. If the spark plug wires were, if they ohmed out, that's OHM. If they ohmed out within their resistance, AC, power steering, power brakes runs and operate like come off certain form of paint is faded. Should I just clear coat it? I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do nothing. I wouldn't do anything. Drums up front are scary in the rain. Okay? Anything scary in the rain. I mean, drum brakes, there's nothing wrong with drum brakes. They just old technology. He's not building a race car. He ain't got a, what's it got in it? Straight six. J-Bone, what's it got in it? Straight six? What's it got in it? 235? 327? I'd leave it, man. The drum brake, look. I'd rebuild the drum brakes. I'd rebuild them. I'd put new lines on the truck. I'd put new brake lines on it. I'd rebuild the front, the back brakes. I would make it where it would, what's up, Bosnia? If it runs and drives and stops like it's supposed to, like it was supposed to in 1968, and it is as nice as you're explaining and you're describing it, I wouldn't do anything to it. I wouldn't even clear coat it, because see, if it's an original, it's lacquer. It's lacquer paint. It's not solvent. It's not base coat, clear coat as it is today. It's lacquer. So it's possible it could, but it's single stage. I wouldn't do anything. Paint's just a bit cloudy and sun faded. Of course, it's dead. You could try to polish it. You could try to polish it back out. It's more than likely a single stage. And what I would do is I would find a part of the panel that, down low towards the ground, like the side of the bedside down low. And I would sand it with, then I'd stop. Then I ain't even gonna finish what I was gonna say. I'd stop, I'd leave it alone. I wouldn't do anything. You could rub Poppy's Patina sauce on it. You could put Poppy's Patina on it to preserve what you have. So Poppy's Patina sauce, you can get that online, and it comes in, it's basically oil base, and you can rub it on with a sponge or you can spray it. But if you don't, being where you're at, I don't know your situation about spraying and taping up. I would just get Poppy's Patina sauce. I'd get their stuff and get their kit, the sponges and everything. I'd follow instructions, and I'd just do one panel at a time. You could do one panel on a Saturday, and then go to the door, and then go to the bedside, then go to the tailgate, go to the other bedside, go to the other door, and then do the fender, and then do the hood, do the roof, and the back of the cab, and be done with it. I would have it done professionally. Well, if they can read instructions, then I'd put Poppy's Patina sauce on it, because you can't polish it, because you already said the paint's coming off. So with that Poppy's Patina sauce, the way it says, you have to degrease the whole vehicle, and you have to give it a lightly scuff, which is like with gray Scotch-Brite. So you would wash the truck in gray Scotch-Brite with like Simple Green. Wash the whole truck in Simple Green, wash it down with gray Scotch-Brite, get all the loose paint and everything off of it, and then put Poppy's Patina sauce on it. When you get through watching my video, go on YouTube and type in Poppy's, P-O-P-P, Patina sauce, and go to their YouTube channel and click and watch how they'll show before and after pictures. I have used it many times, and it lasts for about a year or so, year and a half. If you keep it inside, it could last longer on the upkeep, but that's what I would do. I just put Poppy's Patina sauce on it, put gas in it, and drive it. I wouldn't do nothing else to it. So for like this truck right here, this is a 68 C10. Okay, this is a 68 C10. All right. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I promise you, those bi-ply tires was ready to be made pops. So this is a 68 C10 right here, right? The only thing I had, well, not me, the only thing this client had was the cab. That's all he had, the cab. And there's pictures. I got the cab. It was blue, like a robin egg blue. He calls me and says, hey, look, I want to build a 68 C10. I said, okay, great. He said, come on down to the house, and I'll show you what I got. I get down there to the house, and the only thing he had was the cab and the hood. The hood was junk. Now, I didn't throw it away. I just hung it on the wall. But that's all he had. That was it. I had to do everything else. Engine. So there's no sense in building it original, because there's nothing there to go by. So engine, built 6.0 from TKM Performance. All QA1 suspension. Had to get a chassis. Got a chassis for it. QA1 suspension, aluminum drive shaft, fuel cell. I did all the wiring, everything. So this truck, did all, let me turn this around so you can see, done everything. I'm building a console, and then we're gonna make a fiberglass template, and then we're gonna pop one out of fiberglass. J-Bone, do you know that we can buy a brand new 1968 C10 from bumper to bumper? You can buy a brand new cab, all new sheet metal. Dynacor sells a cab. I had a client that had ordered a cab, and then when it come time to pay for the cab, he backed out and he went somewhere different. So he bought a brand new cab, brand new, doors and all, everything. Brand new cab, turnkey. It's like 8,500 bucks. And if you get a cab and you need floor pans and this and that, whatever, if you're doing it yourself, okay. But more than likely, if you're paying somebody to do it and the shop charges $100 an hour, and you get a brand new cab for $8 grand, you're better off buying a new cab. Yeah. So you can even buy square bodies. Automail Direct sells square bodies. You can buy, let me sit down. that square body right there, you can buy every piece of that truck. I can buy every piece of this truck from Automail Direct. The cab, everything. All the sheet metal, you can buy every bit of it. Everything, you can buy everything from Automail Direct except the driveline and the chassis. Everything else, you can buy. So if you have a truck, let's say somebody brings you a truck. Let's say somebody brings you a truck and it needs, $7,000 in sheet metal. Floor pans, inner and outer rockers, firewall, cowl, all that stuff. You might as well just order a brand new cab and be done with it. Because unless you're doing it yourself and you whatever, but if somebody brought me a truck and it needed, let's just say a brand new cab is $8,500. Let's just say they had a cab and 65% of it needed to be replaced, and it was 65% of $8,500, I would highly suggest them buying a brand new cab. And the reason why is because it's just like insurance company. If you wreck your car or truck and the insurance company tallies up how much it's going to fix and it breaks the threshold of 65% of what the value of the vehicle is, then they total loss it, and then you get a new vehicle. Same thing in this world. I can fix it. I can put a full floor pan in a truck. I can do it. Automail Direct sells all that. But if you need firewall, floor pans, if you're replacing every bit of that, it might be cost efficient just to buy a new cab. Let's not give me any bad luck to have to look for any metal. Don't jinx me. I always keep my eye out for OEM and parts. So on this 68 C10 right here, the one I was showing you, this one right here, the only thing we had was the cab. Everything else I bought from Automail Direct, every bit of it. Inner fenders, fenders, core support, hood hinge, everything. Bed, brand new bed, tailgate, everything. Bought every bit of it from Automail Direct. And what Automail Direct don't sell, I got it from LMC. What people don't understand is it's good to get OEM parts. I agree with that. If you can find some OEM parts, that's great. But most of the time when you get OEM parts, they're just as bad as what you got. And then people say, well, Tri-City has better parts than Automail Direct, or LMC has better parts than Tri-City, or Tri-City has better parts than LMC. Well, here's a news flash for you people. Every bit of that stuff comes from the same warehouse in Taiwan. Everything comes from Taiwan from the same place, Tri-City. Tri-City sent me a thing last year about buying parts. You can buy a 65 Mustang, you can buy a 69 Camaro, you can buy a 54 Chevrolet pickup truck, you can buy a 71 Camaro, a 55 Bel Air, a square body, a 67 to 72 C10, you can buy Volkswagen buses. You can buy every bit of that stuff from this company in Taiwan. That company in Taiwan bought GM's dies or bought whatever, and they stamped this stuff out there. Well, here's the thing. If you get something from Automail Direct, if I get a door from Automail Direct, they have two different types of door. They got a premium, and then they got a budget door. LMC just sells you the budget door, if I'm not mistaken. The budget door is made with thinner metal than the premium door. So every bit of it is coming from the same place. So Automail Direct, I will say this. I've done business with Jason and Eddie at Automail Direct for a long time. I will say this. They stay on top of Q&A the best they can to produce the best part that they can produce for the aftermarket. Also, Automail Direct is an unofficial GM restoration replacement part. So if I buy stuff from LMC, it's not an official GM replacement restoration part. It's just a part. And I buy a bunch of stuff from LMC, a lot. But Automotive Direct is an authorized or not a dealer, but they're authorized restoration parts is what I'm getting at. So if I buy a hood from Automotive Direct, the quality of that hood will be better than the hood quality of another company, another aftermarket brand, because they stay on top of the Q&A. So the people from Taiwan, Tri-City, they sent me a message, an email, and said, hey, look, we see that you buy a bunch of parts, blah, blah. We like to extend the offer where you can just buy direct. Well, when you go to their email and look, that's right. So, but you have to buy shipping container full, what you have to buy. So that's how Automotive Direct, and then when the hit in 2019 and 2020, and we couldn't get no supplies, and we had shipping containers sitting out in the ocean waiting to be ported, they went up on the fee. So I'm just going to give you a number, not saying that this is it. Automotive Direct was paying $5,000 in shipping to get a whole cargo container full of parts from Taiwan. Well, then they went up from $5,000 to like $30,000 in shipping. So that's why the parts went up. Well, this company in Taiwan said that they would sell me stuff. Well, the problem is, that's great, but they sell by the square foot, the cubic foot. So if a shipping container is 40,000 cubic feet inside the shipping container, you have to buy enough stuff to fill up that container. You can't just buy one cab or one fender. You have to fill up. You have to go through there and click on their order sheet, and everything ordered on there has a dimensions next to it, and you have to add enough in there to get all the way up to 40,000 cubic feet to fill a shipping container. That is a lot of parts. So for me, it's not feasible. I mean, I appreciate the invite, but it's just not feasible. So I just get all my stuff from Automotive Direct. If Automotive Direct don't have it, I get it from LMC. A lot of the little stuff I get from LMC. I mean, I've bought a wad of stuff from LMC, a wad. I have two 68 C10 fenders from a crash and rust 20 years ago still. Hey, there was a guy in New Jersey that I met a few years ago that had a warehouse slam full of Pontiac and Buick parts. He used to run a parts house, and he has got an astronomical amount of Buick Pontiac parts in his warehouse that's in original boxes or original GM part numbers from the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. And I mean, it's a warehouse slam full. I mean, fenders, quarter panels, glass, you name it, he has got it. And he won't sell none of it. I guess he's gonna take it with him, I guess, I don't know. I mean, just astronomical. I mean, just astronomical. So, I know my 54 Bel Air Coupe, my fenders was in bad shape, my front fenders. And down here in the South, I looked and found cars, and they was junk, and they was junk, and they was junk. So a 53 and a 54 Chevrolet car is the exact same thing, just the grill's different, and the taillights is different. I found a company in Canada that had 2 sets of brand new fenders still in the box. And they didn't want but like $300. Like, they wanted $600 for the fenders. But to get them from Canada to the United States was like stupid. So I just ended up fixing mine, bought the tools, the metal fabricating tools, and I just fixed mine because I wasn't giving $2,000 for a set of front fenders. Get out from Southwest Louisiana. Jersey, about an hour from me. What's the name of the warehouse? Oh, I don't know. I don't know the name of the warehouse. I mean, it's just a big building. I mean, I got a buddy that went there, and he sent me pictures like 2 years ago, and he was showing me, and he's like, dude, you ain't gonna believe. And I'm like, holy crap, man. I mean, so I don't know exactly where it's at. Jerome, I'm in Raleigh. I'm in North Carolina, Jerome. Where are you at? Where are you at in the United States? I'm in North Carolina. J-Bone, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that little notification bell. I go live. I try to go live at 5 o'clock, but in afternoons, but I went a little earlier today because I was like, hey, whatever. And I appreciate it. Appreciate it. My name is Jason. My name is Jeremy. Yeah, it's about time to go get some grub, ain't it? It's about grocery time. Yes, sir. You too, buddy. You too. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Ooh, I cleaned up a lot today. Look at this cat. Look, I'm gonna show you something. Look here. Got a bed, right? Got a bed. That cool unit worked good. You talking about my mini splits? Is that what you're asking me? I'm about to sneeze. You talking about the mini splits? Is that what you're asking me? Yes. Yes, they do good. Actually, there's two of them in here. They're 2.5 ton units. They're actually Pioneer. They're from a company in Florida. They are 2.5 ton units. And let's see, let me do this right here. Get it out of that light. There we go. They are 2.5 ton units, and there's two of them in here. I got them set. Well, they're 70 right now. It's about 60. Shop's pretty big, but they do good. It's about 68 degrees in here right now. They still have cars over there. I don't know what that means. So, but anywho's, if you didn't go and see the live yesterday, we're opening up the parts for the C10. So I was talking to another buddy today, and we were throwing some ideas around on a cold air intake on this 68 C10. Probably just going to build one out of aluminum, 4-inch aluminum. And then I also said I'd like for you to come by the shop so we can kind of throw some ideas around to make the front hole in the retro style bumper, the Pro Touring bumper. It has a recess in the center, it has a hole in the center. And I told him, I said, I'd like to try to make that a functional ram. I like to make that a functional ram air tube where we can, you know, build something out of aluminum, TIG it together, and run the ductwork up to the bottom of an air box, build a custom air box, and then out of that air box, build 4-inch tubing from that air box into the Titan intake. And he's like, oh yeah. And I said, also, if we could make that hole in that bumper where we could isolate and have 3 chambers. You got a center chamber, and then a chamber on the left and a chamber on the right. And those chambers, on one on the left and one on the right, would be ductworks to run cool air to the brakes, to the rotors on the front and left tire, front tire, to cool the rotors down when you apply the brakes. And he's like, man, I'm picking up what you're laying down. So he's coming by, and we're gonna kind of draw something out and kind of figure out and then build something from there. But if that's about it, good God Almighty, been on here 81 minutes. So I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. I wanted to hit 2,000 subscribers before January 1st, and I achieved that goal with the help of everybody on here, and I greatly appreciate it. And then with just in a few days after that, I hit 2,100. So I was like at 1,800 a few days before New Year's, and my New Year's goal was to hit 2,000 subscribers before New Year's. We did that. Everybody helped. That was great. And then just in a short time after that, hit 21. So jumped 200 within a few days to reach the goal of 2,000 subscribers by January 1st. And then just a few days after that, we hit another 100. So 300 people has joined this channel within the last couple weeks, and that is greatly humbling to me, and I greatly appreciate it. I do. I don't have no filter. I say it like it is. I don't mean no disrespect. I just say it what it is, and I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. I'm gonna go get me some grub. My belly's hungry. That pimento cheese sandwich I ate this morning is gone, and them little crackers, I'm a cracker eating a cracker. They not doing nothing. They just making me angry. So stay tuned next week. I probably won't go live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. So I'll probably go back live Monday. So I hope to see y'all Monday. I'll probably go live around 5 on Monday, North Carolina time, Eastern Standard Time. And hopefully I got something else I can show you, and we'll go from there. Remember what I said, boys and girls? Anything else cool to show? You'll have to go back and scroll through the whole 83 minutes and see everything that we talked about. I'm fixing to close it down. I've been on here for 84 minutes. And I usually try to get off here in 60 minutes, but me and T-Bone, we was having a conversation, and that's what it's all about. So come back Monday at 5 Eastern Standard Time. I'll go live, so hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and so when I go live, you get that notification around 5 o'clock. And I appreciate every single one of you. You know what I say? Don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first at loose and drag. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.